Alright. I seen some stuff. Okay, Machinima posted a video. Let's just get right to the point. Machinima posted a video about the PS4. Because of the new rules and laws that we have in this country, Sony does not want you recording their Blu-ray shit or whatever from HDMI. It's that way for every high definition recording device out there. It's HDMI, DMCI, whatever it's called. It's regulated by the government because certain items are patented and they don't want you recording their HD stuff. What Machinima Video is saying is that you will no longer be able to record from this component, the PS4, or because of the simple fact that this is the software that's built into the console itself. And with that regards, I mean, we're talking the Elgato is the same thing. You know, there's all these other new HD devices that record in HDMI. If you try to record certain things, a disclaimer will pop up and say, you know, you cannot record this, go to support for this reason, blah, 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 blah. Well, some devices have that built in, and some devices have that built into the console as well. And what they're saying is they don't want you recording their movies, their Blu-ray movies, and their HDMI, and so on and so forth. So, you know, I could see why the HDMI works on the Xbox because it doesn't have a Blu-ray recorder, but both of them are going to have Blu-ray recorders. So the PS4 is not going to have component cables, and I'm sure the Xbox One is not going to have component cables. But if this is the case, and you cannot post gameplay because of the fact that, you know, the DCMI or whatever rule it is that they don't want you to record from your HDMI and it's across the board, and they want you to go through PSN to post on Twitch or YouTube or through their network to post, that means you can no longer take the video yourself and record it and edit it and do whatever you want with it to share it. That's what this Machinima Video is saying. People are getting all mixed up saying, well, I'll just bypass it. I'm going to buy me a separate device and I'm still going to post it. Hey, listen, dumbass. It's a law. It's built into the software of the console. It's built into the software of the Elgato. Even if you bypass both of them and recorded it and posted it with your own editing and not going through the PlayStation Network, you're violating the fucking Sony PlayStation, and therefore you will get shut down and fined or whatever. That's what everybody's complaining about. So if that is the case, you know, to me, as a gamer, owning the Amiga 2000, PC gaming since day one, all the consoles, you going back to ColecoVision, Atari 2600, blah, 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 blah. I've had them all. You know, I haven't had any good experiences with Sony. You know, Sony, you have to remember, is, you know, they have a marketing team behind a movie theater, so when they pitch you something, it's a fucking movie trailer. They pitch you this shit, they pitch you the dream, and I feel like every time that I wind up getting a Sony PlayStation, I'm always baited and switched into something that they don't tell you or they're upfront with. Whereas Xbox, they tell you everything that's up front, and then people get pissed off, and yet they go back and rectify everything, you know, however long it takes them. Whereas Sony, they'll sell you something, and then they'll drag on whatever the issue is, and it never gets solved. You know, for example, there could be, you know, I'm hearing things about there's certain levels of subscriptions for online gaming. It's just not one service like Xbox where you pay like monthly and it's just the same for everybody. No, there's certain levels of subscription for Sony where you could have a higher megabyte server for gaming. I mean, what the fuck, man? It's always something with Sony that they're always popping up on you, and then once you buy their shit, They drag you through the mud, and then everybody. This is why Sony has such crazy ass fanboys, because they wind up getting baited and switched into some bullshit console with so many problems, and then never gets rectified, and these guys wind up going through this whole fucking defense mode trying to justify the shitty ass purchase they're made, when they should be pissed at this fucking Sony for selling them the dream and baiting them, switching them into a fucking console that doesn't even work properly. So I'm never gonna buy a Sony PlayStation 4. You know, I've always already fucked really hard with the PS3. You know, I bought this big ass expensive PlayStation 3, never really actualized. The online service was fucking horrendous. The dashboard was fucking terrible. I hated my PS3. For a year they did nothing, and it's just terrible. And if people think they're gonna buy the PS4 and you're an online gamer and you're gonna play for free, you got another thing coming. You're gonna have to pay just like the people who have Xbox. So why the fuck would you buy a PS4 when you live in the United States and they have dedicated service here? This just don't make no sense to me. Like, what are they defending? You don't own stock in Sony. You're not friends with anybody that works there. You're defending the Walkman. It's out of date. Their hardware is out of date. And so, I'm just saying, this is, you guys, don't come crying to me. Don't come crying on Twitter, on my Twitter page, /fist. Don't come crying on these fucking comments when come 3 months down the road, July, June, fucking April, May, when you're like, damn, Fist, I should have bought an Xbox. I should have listened to you. Let me tell you right straight up. If you're watching this video and you live in North America, buy an Xbox One. I'm telling you right now, because of two things. One, they're going to have dedicated service, and there's a difference between dedicated servers and service. And it's going to be the best in the United States. Two, Xbox, although they may fuck up and have an idea, and then the public responds, they rectify their shit immediately, and they take care of their customers. Whereas Sony will drag you through the mud and bait and switch and lie to you. And that's why I will never buy a Sony console. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. You can research all this shit yourself. You know, I don't give a fuck what no one says. I'm not buying a Sony unless they send me a Sony for free. And it's a remarkable turnaround, dashboard, online service, and fucking bedazzles me. Other than that, I'll never touch another Sony. I've already been lied to. Their shit is full of shit. They bait and switch everybody. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. And I'm sure they're going to put some spin on it, and people are going to rationalize their fucking excuses of why they're going to buy it. End of the day, it's a fucking inferior system. And if you live in Europe, don't buy either console. Just get a fucking PC and save yourself some trouble. Till next time, get the fuck out of here.